Hello, I'm Ashley and I'm going to be doing a reading for the winter solstice. Well, I'm just going to ask a couple questions about that, and then mostly it'll be for the full moon. The full moon is tomorrow in Cancer. So I've just been feeling a lot of, like, the last like week or so, sometimes like the full moon energy and with the solstice, and also I personally felt like a portal or opening or a gateway opening on 12/12, which really affected me. Like, it lasted like a few days afterwards. Just like the emotions were really heavy, and it's like it was just like I was walking into a new like room. That's what it felt like. And in order for me to like walk into this room clearly, I had to purge a lot of old heavy emotions that were like still repressed. And so I've been doing a lot of emotional healing, which makes sense because it's a full moon and it's in Cancer, and the cancer, you know, it's all about our emotions. So it's a water sign. And so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna ask a couple questions about the solstice, like just what we need to know. And then I'm mostly gonna focus on the full moon. So I'm gonna use my regular the Rider-Waite Tarot, and I think Energy Oracle to clarify, and then maybe a Lightworker Oracle or Journey of Love. I don't know yet. So, yeah, like I said, I've been just feeling a lot of heavy emotions the last like week, which always kind of tends to happen around full moons, and things are just illuminated, and it just feels like there's a lot of energy behind this full moon. Maybe it's because it's like the solstice is one day and the full moon's the next, and maybe there's just a lot of energy going on. But like I said, I was feeling like kind of grouchy in the morning the last few weeks, and just the energy was kind of, it just kind of depends on how you handle it or what you're going through or what needs to be released. Like, so if you're feeling emotionally well, like, you won't have as much to like release, or you might not have as much emotions come up. But if you're feeling a lot of heavy emotions, or there's, I mean, that's normal too. That just happens around the full moon. So, and then like our intuition is heightened, so you might be seeing through deception, you might, like, things just might be coming to the light, or like having epiphanies, or, I don't know, that's just what I'm feeling. But anyway, like today, I woke up in a pretty great mood. Like the last few days I had been waking up and just like crying, because I was just dealing with a lot, and just like a lot of lower base energy, so it's like important not to get stuck there. I kind of felt like stagnant there for a second, but yeah, today it just felt much better. I don't know if it's because of the solstice and there was just some things I needed to let go of. Probably, because I've been working through a lot. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. What do we need to know about the solstice, the winter solstice today, December 21st, 2018. Can you tell us about the winter solstice? Alright, King of Swords. So this is like discernment, and I was kind of talking about like seeing through like the intuition, like using our intuition. So this isn't like a very intuitive card. This is more like of a logical card, a very intellectual card, very mental energy, like strategic communication. Like this could represent communication. This is mostly like clear communication, like discernment, and yeah, okay, that's interesting. What else can you tell us about this King of Swords and the energy of the solstice, the winter solstice? What else can you tell us about this King of Swords? Page of Wands. So this might be like communicating clearly like your desires, even though these desires may be like fresh or like brand new, or it's like a baby, or like a new beginning, a new passionate beginning, a new start, a new idea, a new creation. So you might be like communicating this desire, maybe like no, that's just what I'm getting, is like new, or like a clear direction. This feels like a clear direction when it comes to this like new idea, or this new spark, or this new passionate beginning. Like feeling clear and having clarity about where to go, like the direction to go in. Okay, interesting. Okay, so and I'm just gonna ask, like, I'm just getting, like, this is, like, super detached. I'm feeling very detached right now. Like, I don't feel in tune to my emotions at all. This is good. I feel like this is a good balance between, like, this playful, child, passionate beginning, and I see this as two. I feel like this is the feminine and the masculine energies, within maybe a certain person, or, but it's like, it's a mixture of this, like, playfulness, playful passion, and, like, discernment and clarity and, like, no BS. So I feel like that's a good combination of the, like, masculine and feminine. So it's important to have, like, that lightheartedness, that playfulness, and that's what I feel like that Page of Wands is all about, is, like, lightheartedness, playfulness, and the King of Swords is kind of, like, can be cold sometimes. He's not in tune to his emotions at all. He's just very, like, direct, very direct, assertive, can come off kind of, like I said, cold, harsh. But I feel like this is a good combination. It's like a balancing of these two. Because sometimes when we don't, like, allow ourselves to feel our passions, it can build up, and I feel like when we don't feel our passions, it turns into, like, rage or anger. And so I feel like that's a good combination there. So I feel like that's something to embody, or something to take action on during, like, the winter solstice. Which will be, like, I think, what is it? The next one is the spring equinox, I want to say. Is that what it's called? So, like, work on that and, like, communicating your desires. Communicating in a more playful way. Communicating in a less, like, cold way, like he would, and communicating more in this, like, playful way. And that could be for man or woman, for masculine or feminine. Like, it doesn't have to be just a masculine. I'm just feeling very masculine energy, but I also feel like the masculine energy is heightened in all of us right now. And that's why it's, like, the passion and the logic, because these are two very, like, masculine cards to me. Like, because the mind is, like, logic, which would be the masculine energy, and then the fire and the passion to me is a masculine energy. So I feel like it's a balance of both of these. Okay, so then I'm just going to leave that there and then just move on to the full moon. So I'm going to ask first, where are we at this full moon? Where are we at collectively? Collectively, where are we at this full moon? Okay, I think 7 of Wands. So this is, like, feeling very defensive, feeling very protective, like, on guard, feeling very on guard, like you can't lay down your defenses, like, very tense, now he's, like, trying to protect himself, like, okay, what else can you tell us about, where else are we at with this woman with this 7 of Wands? Oh yeah, this woman. The Lovers. Okay, so I'm just getting that, like, give me 1 second here. Okay, so with the Lovers, I'm just feeling like, this is, like, this, like, defensiveness is being, like, triggered because of this, like, Lovers card, because of the love, because of, like, the vulnerability. Okay, so back to where I was. I'm just feeling like this, like, Lovers here is, like, triggering this, like, defensiveness and this need to, like, protect. This is coming from, like, the ego, so this feels like a lot of fear. So, like, learning to lay down our defenses, learning to lay down the ego, lay down the heart. And this could also represent, the Lovers represents Gemini, so that might be, a message for some, like, so this is about, like, that's where we're at this full moon, is learning how to, like, lay down our defenses so that we can let love in. Especially I was just, like, feeling that for this month, December. I just feel like a huge heart opening, and I've been dealing a lot with, like, healing my own heart, so I totally feel that. So that's where we're at right now, is Seven of Swords, like, feeling defensive, like, feeling the need to protect from love. And especially, like, that can be affected by your past. Like, if you have, like, a fear associated with love, and if you have attachments of fear and pain associated with love, then, it's going to be really hard to let love in, because you're going to want to defend yourself. You're going to want to protect yourself, because our egos were designed that way. And so, give me 1 second. If you hear a lot of noise in the background, just whatever. I'm at home, so there's people in my house right now. And my nephews are here, so if you hear them, they're good. Next I'm gonna ask, let's see, what is coming up to be seen? What is being illuminated? What is being illuminated with this full moon? What is being illuminated? Okay, Six of Cups. So this could be like the past, like returning from the past. This could be like soulmates. This could be about giving and receiving. This could be about friendship. It's like reciprocal love. So that's what's being illuminated. Like this feeling of like love and friendship and like wanting to like give and receive. Feeling very emotional, like nostalgic even, like remembering the past a lot. Let's see what else comes up. What else is being illuminated with this full moon, with the Six of Cups? Okay, the Hierophant. So this could be about like, for me, whenever I see this card, it feels like the divine is guiding this. It could be like spiritual teaching also, like, this could be like just relationships in general. So, and then the Hierophant is like a teacher, like a spiritual teacher, or to me it always just feels like you're being divinely guided. So if this is like coming up, the Six of Cups, or like past love, or you feel like guided to like reach out to somebody from the past, or if you feel like somebody from the past is returning, that's what I feel with this card. Like it's divinely orchestrated is what I hear. So it's like being divinely guided. Or like knowing your spiritual path, like really having like a aha moment, and that might be in reference to this Six of Cups, this like soulmate, this past love. It might be like but this is also like, yeah, like divine guidance, so being divinely led. Alright, and what do we need to release this full moon? Full moons are always about releasing. I think I'm actually going to start doing like, instead of doing weekly readings, I think I'm going to do, like, because I like to live in cycles of the moon, and I want to get better at that, like, setting intentions, like, so full moons would be more about, like, releasing, and then new moons are more about, like, setting intentions, so I think I'm going to start doing them, like, full moons and new moons, just to kind of keep up with the energy, because sometimes, like, when we're just learning a lot collectively, the messages can be, like, the same throughout the week, because, well, time doesn't exist, so time exists only to our minds, so it just takes as long as it takes for us to, like, learn a lesson, like, not just individually, but collectively as well. So a lot of the same messages could be coming up, because the Six of Cups has come up a lot in this month of December. Like, in my December reading, I think it came up, and then in a couple weeks. So anyway, next, yeah, so what do we need to release this full moon? What do we need to release? Okay, so Six of Swords. So this is like, we need to release like mental conflict, or like kind of like releasing the past, because like you don't see any of their faces, they're all kind of turned away, and like heading for like easier waters is what I hear, like smoother waters. Like I feel like it's still going to be emotional maybe, and there still might be some anxiety because these are the swords, but I feel like it's like leaving the turbulent water and heading towards like the land. You're just not in like turbulent water anymore. So this is what we need to like release this full moon. It's like anxiety, I feel like conflict, mental conflict, worry, doubt, fear. Let's see what else. What else do we need to release this full moon? I also hear just like release resistance. Like go with the flow. Don't try to force anything. We need to release this full moon with the Six of Swords. We need to release. The moon. So this is about fear too. This is like releasing fear, releasing deception. So anywhere where you've kept yourself held back, any lying, like this is just about like the moon is about illumination, like bringing things to the light. I always like the two like pillars here that are like in this rough water. Just because it's like standing strong in this water while these things are maybe being illuminated, it might feel like everything is being like shook up. This might be causing the fear or the anxiety, but it's like being created to show you where you've been lying to yourself, really. That's what I feel like has been happening for me. Where you still self-sabotage, where you still hold on to these like these fears and these illusions. Cause that's what I'm getting with this, like the Lovers and the defensiveness. It's like laying down the defenses, laying down your ego. That's what I feel like. It's just like laying down your ego. Where are we at this full moon? I don't even know what I asked for the Hierophant and the Six of Cups. Oh, what's being illuminated? What do we need to release? What else? And what do we need to focus on? What do we need to focus on this next cycle? We need to focus on for this next cycle. Three of Wands. So we need to focus on being present is what I'm hearing, and like being patient, because this is about stillness. This is about waiting before like moving forward. Like he's like waiting for something to come towards him, so it could be that, like it could be like either waiting for something to come towards you or waiting to move forward. So it could go either way, like whatever position you're in, or whatever resonates for you, because it's always important to remember that, like what comes up for you when you see these cards, like to pay attention to your intuition, not just what I'm saying. So we need to focus on waiting. Focus on, it could also be like gathering information. Let's see what else comes up. We need to focus on this next cycle with this Three of Wands. Okay, the Empress. So this is perfect. That goes with like if like there's any waiting involved or any like patience or any stillness, like this is the Empress, so this is the the divine feminine embodied. So this is about nurturing yourself, loving yourself, self-love, self-care, which this card has been coming up a lot. Being fruitful, like knowing your value, knowing your worth, believing in yourself, and just like holding this space, I guess. I like that, I don't know, the similar numbers at the top. This just stuck out to me. I've never known, like, so it's 3, because like 3 of Wands, and this is like the 3rd card in the Major Arcana. So 3 might be significant. If you see 3s a lot, I see 3s a lot. I've been seeing them a lot, actually. 3, 3, 3. And 3 also represents like alchemy, which is all about this, like, manifestation. That's what this is about too. So it's like, yeah, like really learning how to nurture yourself and like find your value. That's what we need to focus on, which that's funny because I'm pretty sure the last full moon reading I did, I asked what we need to focus on and the Empress came on. So that's just a really important message then, which I've been receiving a lot, and it's hard, let me tell you, if you've never like embodied your like divine feminine, or you don't know like how to incorporate your divine feminine, it's gonna like challenge you. It's not an easy path, it's like extremely challenging. And being patient is the like one thing that comes with being in your feminine energy, especially while you're manifesting and you're waiting for like this divine guidance, and like, because you're gonna have to be in the dark. That's what's hard for me, is like knowing that I'm in the dark, and like I can't I can't see everything. All I can see is a couple steps ahead of me, which is all I need to see, honestly, because when I see the whole picture I get really overwhelmed. So it's important for me to be like in the dark, but to be excited because I know what's coming is great. But it also, you know, when we move through that, fears are going to come up, doubts are going to arise, and they're like it's like destruction. So it's like you have to use like the passions, like this passion, like our fire energy, like the love, which came up like the Lovers, like to burn through the fears, to like, which would be this, like to burn through the fears. That's what it feels like, and it hurts. And like, it's challenging to the ego. It's really hard. It's not something that's really easy at all. So if you're going through it, I understand. I feel you. But that's like, when that stuff comes up, like, it does push you into this Empress energy, because you have to take care of yourself. Like, if I didn't take care of myself, honestly, if I didn't like, like do my yoga, and which yoga is like saving me right now because it helps me get out of my mind, and like taking baths and like going on runs, dancing, singing, those are all things that that's what's great though. It's like I'm learning too, especially like learning how to embody this even more, this feminine energy, which is very empowering, but doesn't mean it's not challenging. So lastly, because I still am going to pull an oracle card for each one, what is your advice for us this full moon? What is your advice for us this full moon? Okay, 7 of Swords. This is like, I don't know, whenever I see this card, I hear the word like sneaky, or like sly, or like trying to get away with something, because this is like deception. These are the swords. So let's see what else comes up with that. What else can you tell us about this 7 of Swords as the advice? What is your advice with this 7 of Swords? Okay, 7 of Pentacles. Lots of 7s here. I think I pulled 7 of Wands. Yeah, 7 of Wands, 7 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. And 7 is about like a time, and even in this card, like time of reflection. So it's like maybe looking at your value. Because when I see this, I always say, like, think of like taking stock of your value. Like, look at how much you've grown. Look how much you have already. Yes, maybe you still have another seed to plant or so, you know, maybe you have some work to do. But right now, see, he's just like looking and reflecting. Like, and 7 is like a number of reflection. So, because this is a 7 too. So maybe just like notice where you like have these lies. I feel like that's what it's about. But like maybe you have lied in the past, and maybe it's more about like letting go of the past and focusing on your value. Focus on what you've got here. Focus on all your good qualities. And that comes with the Empress too. Like, focus on your good qualities. I had to like retrain my whole entire thought, like my whole entire brain to like talk nice to myself, because I was not very nice, and like I was noticing that like I just kept calling myself a failure, like a fuck up, like I was just being really hard on myself this past like week, and I just felt like such a failure, and it's okay to feel that way, like it really is, but we just can't stay stuck there. So we have to like retrain our minds to be like, okay, like you're not a failure, like okay, yeah, you messed up, maybe you know, made the wrong choice, or I don't feel like any choice is ever wrong, honestly. It's just about growing, and so it's just like focus on your value. What else can you tell us about this Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles about the advice for this full moon? What is your advice for this full moon? Judgment. So this is like clarity, renewal, and like their arms are outstretched. I always notice that in this picture, like they're just like, free me. So I feel like maybe this is about like freeing yourself from like the lies and like the ego and the mind, because it was the Seven of Swords, and it's time to focus on your value. Focus on the Seven of Pentacles. Focus on your value. Focus on your value. That's it, I think. Then underneath the deck is, oh, I like these two together. The Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So the page is like brand new. This is also about like focusing on your value. That's what I see. Like when I see the pentacles, I think less material, which it is the material. The pentacles are the material, but it's about your value, and your value in finances is reflected in your value within yourself. So that's why I'm like focusing more on the value, because right now, even personally for me, like my divine guidance is to focus less on the material and more on the spiritual. And the way to do that, if you're concerned about finances, the one way to, because if you worry about your finances, you're just creating more to worry about. You're not coming up with a solution. So that's what I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, which is like reflect and focus on your value, focus on all you already have, instead of wanting more. But because like money is important, of course, but it's focus on the value within yourself. Because then when you focus on that, then you're not worrying. You're actually coming up with creative solutions to help you with your finances, is what I'm getting. So these might be two separate energies, like a Page of Pentacles. I see this more as the feminine, and I see the Knight of Pentacles is more the masculine. The Knight of Pentacles, he's very slow, but very successful. Very slow, but successful. And the Page is just like a brand new, like a baby. And that's why I feel like there's nurturing this one pentacle that you already have. Maybe you only have one pentacle. Maybe, yeah, maybe that's what I'm feeling. Maybe you only have one pentacle. Maybe you don't have very much to offer, you know? Physically. Maybe you don't have very much to offer physically. But I feel like that's not the point. Because here comes this card. Underneath that is death. So I feel like it's the ending of the value being focused on the outside, externally, and more about a rebirth of the value within. And this creates like a huge shift in your money mindset and your beliefs around money. And it's incredible. So that's all underneath the deck. I like that. I'm also feeling like this because this is like a card of community and like celebration and like friendship. And then also under that was the Magician. So you might be like manifesting this like community. Might be manifesting, because these kind of just go together for me. I don't know, these kind of spoke to me together. Yeah, so you might be like manifesting this community or like-minded people. Remember the Magician, this is like the divine masculine energy. He has a wand, a cup, a pentacle, and a sword here. His like one hand's on heaven, one hand's on earth. I love the infinity symbol. This is one of my favorite cards too, the Magician. Because this is just like our masculine energy, which is all about creation. Okay. So that was all underneath the deck. Now I'm going to pull an oracle card. I am going to use Energy Oracle just because I like this deck, and I don't know, I'm focusing on the energy, I guess, here. So let's pull one for this, like, solstice energy. So the Page of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Page of Wands. What can you tell us about winter solstice? This Page of Swords and this King of Swords, or Page of Wands and King of Swords. Okay, Angel of Strength, which I really like this card. But this just reminds you to be strong. And you maybe have a lion as like a spirit animal right now. I feel a lion with me sometimes too, like this, like King of the Jungle kind of vibe. And so, yeah, this situation is just calling for a lot of strength, and I feel like this might be like communication, like communicating your desires, and that might be taking a lot out of you. So it might be calling for a lot of strength. So you're just finding your inner strength, which will then help you move forward. So next I asked, where are we at this full moon? And I pulled the Seven of Wands with the Lovers. So where are we at this full moon? Okay, patience. I like that. That's beautiful that it came with the Seven of Wands and the Patience, and the Lovers, because it's like as they like lay down the defenses and lay down the ego, like that can take a lot out of you, you know? That's why like strength came, and then patience, which I was talking about patience with the Empress energy and embodying our divine feminine. Patience is a huge lesson right now. So, and this is also a 7 card. I'm just feeling the 7s. 7s are standing out, and 7s are also a very spiritual number. So, and I'm really getting that with the Hierophant too. It's like you're being divinely guided. Like this is coming from your higher guidance. So next we'll move on to that section. And I asked, what is being illuminated? What is being illuminated with this full moon, with the 6 of Cups and the Hierophant? What is being illuminated? Okay, strategy. I like that too. This is also, I was talking about 3, 2 plus 1 is 3. So strategy, which I like because that's a very like masculine energy of like being strategic, and it comes with this emotional energy, which is very feminine. So maybe there's like, maybe to find this strategy to like reconnect with this. That's what I'm feeling, like a reconnection, reconciliation, and is being divinely guided. That's to listen to your divine guidance is the strategy. Like if you want to get to this and you want this, then like just, that's what I'm getting, like follow your guidance. That is, or if like you receive guidance, how to put it into a practical plan and how to like move forward with it. So like coming up with a strategy. That's what's being illuminated. The strategy is being illuminated. That's what I'm getting. So you may be receiving like epiphanies or like just like insight, or your clairvoyance might be heightened, especially around the full moon, because it just happens. Our intuition is heightened. So you might be receiving like signs and synchronicity and messages that are helping to guide you, to help you come up with this strategy is what I'm feeling. So I feel like the strategy is being illuminated. So because I feel like kind of lost, you know, and kind of like I don't know the next step yet, and that can make me feel really uncomfortable. But it's like, it's always like the healing has to come before the step is given, because otherwise we wouldn't heal then, right? We would just want to jump forward into our masculine energy. Because strategy is like, this is a very masculine energy, like being strategic. And so that's why it's important to heal, because sometimes we want to skip over the healing, we want to skip over the uncomfortable parts, and that's why it calls for a lot of patience. So that we could, and then, but I feel like things are going to be illuminated. Like you're going to know what to do. You're going to know the next move to take, and it's going to be like from your intuition. It's going to be divinely given to you, maybe even through dreams. Pay attention to your dreams right now. They're very important. We're learning a lot from our dreams right now. So then next I asked, what, excuse the screaming. Okay, so next I asked, what are we releasing? So I pulled the 7 or the 6 of Swords with the moon. So that was like releasing deception, releasing fear, moving to calmer waters, like releasing resistance. That's what I was feeling from that. Both a lot of water on those cards too. So a lot of emotions come up in the cards, kind of. We had all of those: the swords, the cups, the pentacles, the wands. Okay. So yes, what are we releasing? What are we releasing this full moon? What do we need to release? I knew I was going to pull this card. I saw it in my mind's eye before I pulled it. Deceit. This is what we need. And I was saying exactly that. The fear, the anxiety, the worry, the doubt, the deceit. This reminds me a lot of the Devil card. Because it's like a self-sabotage. It's just fear. It's an illusion. So that's what we're releasing. This full moon is any deception, anything holding us back. Because the moon in this card is all about like, it is about intuition, but it's also about like deception and about things being illuminated, things coming to the light, and that's what I'm feeling like is happening, and that's why this like strategy is being given or being shown. But you're gonna have to decipher. That kind of comes back to the King of Swords, which came up for the Solstice, but I feel like that's like the overall energy is deciphering between your intuition and the lies and the deceit. That's really important. And this is testing a lot of strength. Like, it's been taking a lot out of me, honestly, too. So, I understand that. I feel that. Also, another 7 card. So, that's important. 7 is important. If you're seeing 777 a lot, it's also, like, just a number of, like, you're spiritually evolving. So, that was perfect. I knew I was going to pull that card. That's so funny. I love when that happens. When I see it in my mind's eye and then I pull it. And sometimes it freaks me out almost. I'm like, no way. Okay, so, but like I trust my intuition. It's pretty cool to like learn how to trust your intuition. I mean, it's scary. Like I said, it's not like something that's easy, but it's like, it's rewarding and like it's empowering. So, but it is challenging. Next I asked, what do we need to focus on for this next cycle? And I pulled the 3 of Wands with the Empress. So patience and waiting is what I feel is what we need to focus on. But we already pulled patience. So what do we need to focus on this next cycle? Okay, broken heart. This is like, I feel like it's about mending the broken heart. This is a 9 card, so this is almost like a completion of something. So, like walking away from this broken heart is what I feel like. Walking away from this old past pain. And that's why it's important to like nurture yourself with this Empress energy. Because there is this period of like stalling or like waiting. Because things are like being aligned. That's what I feel like. Especially if you're manifesting, because the Empress is all about manifesting your desires and the Wands are about desires. So this is about manifesting a desire. And it's about like keeping your heart open. But it's gonna like, it's going to trigger these like old wounds and these old past wounding, and that's why it's important to see through your intuition and the fear and the self-sabotage and the deceit and the defensiveness and the ego. Let's pull one more oracle card there for that one. What do we need to focus on with this broken heart? Okay, perfect. Attachment. So this is like releasing attachments, and I'm feeling this really strongly. So it's like releasing the attachments to the past. See how she's like chained there? Like, this is like removing the mask. She is literally removing the mask. So this is like shedding the ego even more. Like, this is important. This phase is important. So it's important to, like, because you're learning to let go of the attachments of the broken heart. That's why it's important to nurture yourself and love yourself and value yourself. And be patient and kind and gentle to yourself. Yeah, so focus on mending yourself. Mend your heart. Focus on mending your heart and releasing attachments. Because it's the attachments. I was just writing about this today. It's about like, everyone has like a villain, you know, in their story, and we created this villain to attach blame, so that we had someone to blame for. But like, what if the only villain that there really is the attachment to those feelings, the attachment to those experiences? Those are the only things that are tying you back. Oh my gosh. And I wanted to tell this story actually today, because it's perfect with her wrist being tied up here. So I was doing my yoga, and my ultimate goal is to be able to do a handstand. So I'm not even close, but I have to practice getting there, you know. So my wrist, I've been like exercising them, and I do like planks a lot to hold myself up. But anyway, I was like moving my wrist today just to like stretch them out, and I had this like moment where it was like, oh my god, and I couldn't stop moving my wrist. I was just like flapping back and forth, and they felt so good. It was like, I almost felt like these shackles were removed from my wrist. It felt like I was a prisoner. I feel like it was a past lifetime kind of deal, where I had been a prisoner in another lifetime, and my wrists were like shackled. That's what it felt like. Like they had been on my wrist for so long, and I was just like flapping. I was like, I felt so free, and I was like so excited. I just kept doing that over and over. So I like that came up. So it's like freeing it, because that's when I had the moment of like, it's the attachment that creates like agony or creates this heartbreak. We can still have these emotions and have these things from our past be triggered, but can we react to them differently? Can we not be tied to them? Can we not be bound to them? Because that's like a lot like the Deceit card, and a lot like the Devil card and the Tarot, being tied to your past, being tied to the past. That's what I feel like with this broken heart is. It's like being tied to the past. So focus on like healing. Focus on healing. Focus on loving yourself this next full moon, this next cycle. So, what is your advice for us this full moon? What is your advice for us this full moon? Sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. So this is our third eye chakra. And I feel like that's perfect, because it's like clarity, seeing things, using your intuition, using your clairvoyance. Because it was about like focusing on your value, and this is like seeing through the BS, seeing through the deceit, seeing through the lies. Like, you'll know the difference between like intuition and fear, or like self-sabotage, because of the way it'll feel. Like your intuition will feel really like light, and it'll generally feel good, but fear and like worry and doubt, that'll feel like contraction in your body, which I felt recently. Like, I know I'm working through my own fears. So, yeah, I like that. And then underneath the deck is, so the advice is just like follow your intuition. Follow your intuition. Focus on your value. Like, you're receiving so much insight. I'm receiving right now that you're receiving so much insight via your clairvoyance and your third eye chakra. So it's important to pay attention to that and your intuition and the insight you're receiving from them, because it's on point, it's accurate, you can trust it 100%. Then underneath the deck was Door to Spirit, which I really like this card. And, yeah, so what's underneath there? I'm going to pull one from Lightworker Oracle, I think. Actually, I'm going to do Journey of Love. No, I'm going to do Lightworker Oracle. That one is a little bit longer, though. I'm running out of space here. Okay. Alright, so Lightworker Oracle. What do we need to know right now? What is the overall message for this full moon? What is the overall message for this full moon? I like this. We had a lot of 5 cards too. 5 card here. 5 card underneath the deck. And also this Angel of Strength is a 5 card. And I say that because this is a 5 card. It's called Karmic Clearing. Kind of out of focus there. Okay. So let's read this here. That seems relevant though. Karmic Clearing. Okay. You are fast outgrowing a level of consciousness to which are attached to oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Okay. Spirit just cracked me up. You are fast outgrowing a level of consciousness to which are attached to particular wounds, issues, and struggles. That's this. Broken heart and attachment. As you outgrow that consciousness, these issues will release their grip on you. You are receiving divine notice that karmic clearing is taking place through a combination of your own efforts and spiritual grace from the heart of the divine. It is time for an old wound to be released once and for all. Karma is not punishment. Karma is essentially our soul's lesson plan for this lifetime, carried over from past lifetimes. It is the way we grow and develop as a soul, sometimes through challenges and sometimes through blessings. Our positive karma is seen in the skills and talents we have mastered over many lifetimes. Also, when opportunities flow easily and healing happens swiftly, there is a sense of positive karma, an easy grace that effortlessly takes place in your life. This is what happens when we are clear enough of our own past pain to have little resistance between us and the natural flow of life. Which I was saying, this card, I heard relief resistance is what we need to focus, or what we're releasing is resistance. More challenging karma is revealed in the lessons we are still learning. These usually appear in the guise of painful circumstances or reactions that repeat themselves in our lives. The stronger the soul, the more challenging the lesson it is willing to master this lifetime. Which, that's why this, like, angel of strength is here. Because I feel that, like, I came to take on a lot of things in this lifetime because I'm a badass and I'm really strong. The stronger the soul, the more challenging lesson it is willing to master this lifetime. As with any education, the higher the level of training, the more demanding the work. Which I feel that with this, the Hierophant card, because this is about, like, spiritual teaching. When you are working through big challenges, it is often a sign that you are on an advanced spiritual path. Must you always have struggle in your life as an advanced soul? Of course not. As you master your lessons, you will find you develop an ability to live your life more peacefully. However, it would be incorrect to interpret a struggle as a sign that you are not progressing spiritually. Sometimes the more painful a struggle has been, the more difficult it can be to release that pain and associated memories or scars. The spiritual worlds know you are in need of divine intervention to help clear a pattern that was once painfully lodged in your body, mind, and soul. Enough of the struggle. Divine love now offers healing and freedom. I love that because, like, I was talking about, like, I felt free, like, these shackles were off. Healing, which also comes with this broken heart, like, you're healing right now. We clear karma by learning to trust and relax, by choosing not to punish ourselves with shame, guilt, fear, or unworthiness, by continuing to balance our efforts with a surrender into divine grace. We take responsibility for our own healing, doing all that we can, and trusting that the universe will lovingly and effectively handle everything else so that we can progress and succeed. If you have been struggling with a long-term issue, this oracle card comes as a particular sign that the universe wants to step in and assist you. Repeat the invocation below for at least 6 days and nights. Invite this healing blessing of karmic clearing through love into your life now. This is the invocation. I call upon the karmic board of ascend beings, angels, guides, and holy ones who love me unconditionally and ask for your divine blessing, healing, and assistance now. I open myself up to divine grace, divine love, and karmic absolution. I choose to surrender my attachment to the suffering I have experienced. I have learned to and been willing to go through this experience, and yet I am now willing to learn and grow through a higher vibrational experience of love. Through divine authority, that's this card, through divine authority, in my own free will, this karmic clearing manifests now, according to the highest law of love. May this blessing reach into the hearts of all beings according to divine compassion, mercy, and grace. So be it. Well, that was perfect, and went perfectly with the reading. So, oh my gosh. And, I'm having a little bit of, like, throat chakra issues here. So, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful full moon, and I'm sending lots of love and light. Take care.